Can someone help with playing the video? That's okay. So with that, I hand over to Dr. Lucia to lead us through the session.
Thank you so much, Julie. For a second, when my name was not brought up, I thought I was replaced by AI. I was a little worried, why did I take the flight all the way from Bangalore to be here speaking to you and moderating this session on AI's importance in skilling, education and health domain. Thank you so much, Shikra, for remembering me and bringing it up. So we are deep diving into yet another interesting session. I'm accompanied by change makers and who've done extraordinary work in their own domains. On my left is Parvez. And I think you've already done the introduction and now I'm not going in detail about it. So we are going to have a very engaging discussion with the panelists here. Basically trying to understand what has been the support of Microsoft within these domains that we work with in the communities, ensuring that nobody is left back, whether it is rural or urban areas, and also trying to look at how we can bridge the skilling gaps in the healthcare sector, education sector, and the work that we do broadly. So we have very interesting conversation that will take place now with broadband and internet connections going to Microsoft's interventions on tech support on AI, and Parvez has been working a lot with the NGO sector, trying to build communities and empowerment and so on and so forth. The first question that I have for Parvez, I can start with Julie ladies first. So Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and organization. So can you share how this vision is shaping your company's approach towards skilling and inclusive access, especially in rural areas where there is no access to technology, etc., and people cannot read your manuals, which is going to be in English? How do they adapt to new change?
Well, that's a very pertinent question, Dr. Lucia. And I think, like I said, right, there are three lessons that we've had from the past technologies: access, adoption, and the availability, right? So one of the things that we are doing is that the Microsoft Copilot is accessible to everyone. It's free. It's available to everyone. We support 50 languages and continue to expand that spectrum of languages. The other very big part of access is infrastructure. So we have programs like Microsoft Airband. We are working with Michael here, and actually we'll talk more about it. But basically that's looking at bringing internet access to the rural areas. We, as you might know, we are also investing heavily in building a data center infrastructure in India. We have committed to spending $3 billion in the next 2 years in data center infrastructure. But when I talk specifically about skilling, right, one of the programs we have is called Advantage India. I alluded to that during my presentation. That is one of the programs where we are partnering very closely with a lot of skilling partners in bringing AI skilling at the grassroots level. I had the privilege of meeting a few of those few students at UNICEF a few months ago, right? That had been skilled through that program. We also have a program called AI4I that I also alluded to, as part of which we are skilling developers in partnership with IIT Delhi's Makerspace. So that's another place where we are contributing.
Thank you so much. So a follow-on question on that. So how do you integrate some of these models into the not-for-profit organizations? Is there easy adaptability, or there is like, oh no, this is too difficult for us? What has been your experience?
No, absolutely. I think, like I said, right, a technology needs partners to deliver the impact. See, when you're talking about any technology, any real ground-level impact, you need very strong connection with the community. You need people who understand that problem deeply, and that's where our partners, come in the picture.
हेलो
And here
फ्रेंड्स,
two
मैं
programs.
हूँ
One
दिल्ली
is the
से
AI for
लाइव
India that I was talking about.
और यहाँ एक
There,
प्रोग्राम
as
चल
part
रहा
of
है,
that,
ये
we
देखिए.
are looking at supporting and mentoring through mentoring, funding, market access. We are providing all kinds of support to these companies to help them scale the impact. So these are problems where, as part of AI for I problems that we picked, they have proven value at a small scale, and now we are partnering to expand the impact for those. The other program we also have is the Unnati Accelerator program, where we have picked specific areas like healthcare, education, agriculture, and sustainability, right? And that is also where we are, again, picking up 10 to 12 startups from small towns. So this is actually focused on small towns, not in urban centers, where we can again help them, of course, skill developers as well as in doing grassroots change.
Thank you so much, Judy, for that insightful input. So my next question is for Michael Gindor. So from the lens of your organization, Air Jaldi, what has been your experience working with communities, whichever geography that you have chosen to work with, and what has been your challenges working on technology, AI?
यहाँ के वीडियो मैं शाम को अपलोड करूँगी, तो आप देख लेना.
Everybody says great question. It's a great question. And thanks for having me here. Let me start by saying a few words about Air Jaldi. And I very much liked the way you described the challenges of airborne technology. You talked about broad adoption, infrastructure development, and access. And that's very closely related to the way Air Jaldi sees itself. We say that we're building a tree of meaningful connectivity that is built on 3 roots. The first one is connectivity. Air Jaldi is an Indian company that focuses on connectivity in rural and semi-rural areas. So that's number 1. The second thing is enabling. Every technology needs enabling. Connectivity, I always say, is the beginning of the story, far from the end. If you connect a school in Gujarat or in Jharkhand, and you equip it with computer and connectivity related devices, somebody needs to enable it. The third thing is scale. If we are really talking about meaningful connectivity, the recipients, the users need to be skilled. So I'm very happy to see that our visions coincide in more than one. In terms of our partnership with Microsoft and the challenges that we are facing together. If we think of these 3 things, we really are thinking of what we call internally a digital ecosystem. An ecosystem that is built first and foremost, geologically almost, with physical connectivity, on top of which comes the networking, on top of which comes the product, and on top of which come the users. AI is almost at the pinnacle of all of this. And what we are finding is that when we are working in rural areas, again and again and again, we cannot build a building from the top. We've got to ensure that the foundation is there. And what we're seeing again and again and again is we have perforated ecosystems wherever we are. Some places have great connectivity, but not necessarily implementation. Others have access to software, but not necessarily great connectivity. So it's really our role to kind of try to fill in those gaps. And just a recent experience relating to AI, we just delivered a program in Jharkhand to about 4,000 women in village settings. And these are women with very, very little digital knowledge. And the challenge there is, Shikha has alluded to earlier as well, is what is the meaning of AI for a woman in a rural area? And the way we approach it together with Microsoft is really by first of all saying, okay, let's open a window to what this is. Let's introduce AI in a way that you can use it. And then let's find something that's relevant for you. And our belief is that to every technology there is a door or a window through which I can enter. Surprisingly, for a lot of these women in Jharkhand, it was about reaching trains. It was about finding train schedules. Okay, so I start you with this. Then we move on to, what are you doing? Okay, let me show you how I can find how to make these like just a voice prompt on AI, which is obviously, this is the